Question 1351. Do you think Donald Trump is capable of a successful coup? If so,
No.
do you have an actual exit plan ready rather than vague sentiments?
No,
Well, I'm an Australian, so I don't need an exit plan. And no, he proved he
No,
isn't.
he is not capable. And I think we need to put this into perspective in a way. If that was supposed to be an attempted coup, a couple of days ago, that was just bollocks. It was something that interfered with the process for a few hours. And so I think we do need to put that into some sort of perspective. He rolled the mob up or whatever, but was it a coup? Was it a coup, or was it ever going to be a successful revolution? No, it's nowhere near to it. There's other things you need to you need to pull off a coup. You need to actually have a hell of a plan for that.
You also have to have the military actually on side.
For starters, you need to have the military on side.
Absolutely.
You need to, somewhere like, for example, like if it was a genuine coup attempt, you think, well, maybe try and seize the Pentagon before the Capitol building or something.
Yeah.
The only thing that has saved us is Trump's incompetence. He has no ability to plan ahead for anything. But more than 3 years ago, I did say I had an escape plan, that I was willing to row a canoe across Lake Superior to try and get sanctuary in Canada.
Never Again says no, already executed it, just didn't go far enough. Ox says no, he just tried 2 days ago. Yes, all packed and loaded. Haddon says, personally, I think Trump is not competent to plan anything and too lazy to plan anything.
I don't think that he would be capable of planning it at all. I just don't think he has the knowledge base to do something like that.
He can't do any advanced planning. He keeps
I think he would require someone else to do all the work, but he surrounds himself with people that are useless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
that's actually a trait of the Republican Party. They're real good at winning elections, and they're absolutely abysmal at running a government.
They don't want to run the government. They want to destroy the government.
Yeah. Well, I really think the Republicans put Trump up there because they wanted a clown in office to distract people from what Congress was doing.
No,
but
I don't think so.
They were not prepared for him contradicting himself every other word.
I don't think they wanted Trump.
Wait. Are you saying that no one has watched him before? I mean,
don't think
how
the
can you
Republicans
not
wanted
be
him.
prepared?
The religious right have made it clear what they want, and they wanted a Trump.
They want a
Problem is
dictator.
They didn't want it for 20 years. They weren't ready.
They want a theocracy.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of the sort of traditional Washington insider type Republicans didn't want him as president. But he did appeal to a lot of their more fanatical support base. He kind of got there, although the sort of more establishment sort of Republicans didn't really want him as a candidate.
I think his attempt. Oh, what's that?
Go on, let's do this. Johan said he's an incredibly smart person. He doesn't have to tell anyone outright to do something. He has weaponized the minds of people just like a cult leader. He has become their savior.
Yeah. There's just
the bar is extremely low with those people. Then
a news clip just went across my screen that the current Melania substitute in the White House, Hope Hicks, is resigning.
That'll all be gone shortly. And it's just going to come down to Pence and him.
So I think Trump did a half-ass attempt at a coup. I don't think he was smart enough. I think he was thinking that his hillbilly army was 10 times bigger than what it was.
I think he's too much of a coward. I don't think he ever would have led it. And I don't think, and if he wasn't willing to lead it, I don't think it was ever going to go anywhere.
I agree. That's why he was invoking them instead of leading them.
Yeah. Because I think he would have. I think he could have taken Congress if he'd have walked down with those people.
Oh, every every disfranchised cis white guy would have grabbed their gun and ran down there. Greg Locke would have been down there. All those people, they would have ran down there to save their country. So I agree with you. But in America,
Never again says, do not call it that. It's insulting to real hillbillies.
That is, I mean, I think sometimes I think we might need to take a little step back on this a bit and analyze this in a few months' time. You realise that was not a coup attempt at all. That was
a temper tantrum from a generation of people who were beat by their parents.
Yeah.
I'm that age. I am finally that age.
I mean,
yes, he riled them up. No doubt he riled them up, and there were definitely things that you could question about what he did, because there should have been a lot more security around that fucking building than there was.
No, but he showed how weak the infrastructure is.
Yeah.
Because now everybody knows if you have a mob, you can storm the Capitol.
No, then you can't know. Because this is the argument I got into repeatedly on Twitter. No other person could have organised a rally and it not be policed properly. But the issue is, if the police had provided the protection they needed, they would have been seen as going up against the president.
Yeah.
True.
That's the problem. No one else, if anyone else had organised what he organised, there would have been 10 times the police on the ground.
I
would have got nowhere near.
I'm not sure if that was necessarily that Trump was organizing it. The police were cooperating with the people. They opened the gates.
They pretty much had to. Again, they had to because
because the police are seeing these as people who were allies with them against the Black Lives Matter protests.
I think there is an element of that, but it doesn't change where ultimately their loyalties lie, and there just wasn't enough on the ground to go up against them. And every policy says if you do not have overwhelming force, you let them do what they want, and then you deal with them later.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't want the cops getting killed.
I agree to a certain point, but there's actual rules of engagement that they didn't do anything. They ran up the stairs. They barricaded themselves. There's rules of engagement where you stand your ground and you unload your clip. At least that's how it used to be. There's a double standard for the Trumpers.
I was going to say that never again says there is an unwritten rule that says don't shoot white people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's a double standard in this country, because if it was people that look like me, it would have been a whole different news story. There'd have been a bunch of dead bodies on the set.
There was certainly an element of privilege to it, wasn't there?
Yes.
And I'm not going to go on too much about it, but it's blatant and it's obvious.
I mean, I would put money that the last thing that went through that girl's head, and I think it's a bit sick me saying it because it's me, was I can't believe that they've shot me.
Yeah.
Don't jokes when I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, well,
I think you went through that girl's head was a bullet, Dave.
If you go running towards a gun, you might get shot. Like that's just common sense. If you go running towards a gun,
well,
I don't think they believe
I
they would get
guarantee you that the police officer who died this morning, by the way, making 5 deaths in the melee, was thinking, I can't believe that they're beating me to death with a fire extinguisher.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. These guys they're criminals.
Yeah.
But that's what Trump has done. He has awoken all the sociopaths who think that their imaginary freedom and their imaginary rights, and nobody owns this country. I'm sorry. We say we the people, but we pay our taxes. That's just the way it is.
It really annoys me that the people that they are patriots because they've got this idea, even though there's a lot less of them. Well, fuck you.
And that's
how it works.
That's another thing too, is the demographics are changing for the West in general for all.
This is what the Republicans. I don't understand the Republicans that they can see it coming. At the end of the day,
over.
I don't understand their view of COVID for this reason. They're killing off their major voting base.
I guarantee you that there wasn't one freaking Republican who took the time to go to any of the associated websites with these people and realize that they were not only planning this all along to occupy the Capitol, but did not realize that they were coming with with the nylon handcuffs and pipe bombs and long rifles and ready to actually assault and to kill Congress people.
Yeah.
And like I said, the worst thing I saw was the thing is that if they had got in there fast enough and Pelosi had been there, you think she'd have survived?
No,
because mob mentality. No, she wouldn't have.
They had set up a gallows outside.
Ugh.
They were planning to drag Congress people out to a gallows.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.